Smart 24, driving business.
Welcome yet again to another episode of Women in Business on Smart 24 TV. I'm Doreen Kemcha, and we're always delighted to have you. Now, we are in a particular space. Special thanks go out to Kampala Serena Hotel, and this ambience is awesome. Please come to them for your good quality accommodation, your conferencing, all your meeting spaces, and just to have a good time with your family members or a friend as well. Now, on this particular episode, we have an amazing young woman. She's going to tell us all about the recycling business. I love the fact that there's quite a lot of passionate young women coming up, getting into male-dominated spaces and loving every particular moment filled with passion. So, welcome. We have today this young, amazing woman, Madam Bridget Chigambo, a professional architect, but also the founder of Green Shiro Limited and Girl Potential Care Center. Welcome, Bridget.
Hi, Doreen. I'm happy to be here.
Delighted to have you.
Thank you.
We've seen varied. We have Women in Business has gotten to talk to amazing women that are already established, and then we have those ones that are coming up. And then we have those ones that haven't quite yet got it, but are impassioned and really doing something. Mm-hmm. You have started off from a background of architecture, civil engineering actually. Then you went into architecture, and then you started this recycling business 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And this is an amazing opportunity. How did it start, Bridget? How did you start?
Definitely. When you started saying where I started from civil engineering to architecture and then to waste management, Green Shiro was a small project within Girl Potential Care Center, an NGO within Fort Portal. So it was a project where we would train people how to collect their waste and not dump it in River Mpanga or in the soils where they're doing farming. So we decided to call it Green Shiro because you know how women and girls are more responsible for the sanitation and the hygiene of a place. So we wanted the people to feel like they are the green heroes of their community. Right? Yes, green heroes. Yeah. But then because we have an aspect of women, we called it Green Shiro.
That's amazing. I love, and this is the very first thing that I thought of. I remember even before we started, I asked you, where is the Shiro part coming from, right? Yeah. And then that's when you broke it down. It's awesome. It's awesome that you are female heroes, literally embracing the different roles that you have in society, yes, and then coming up and doing something great about it. Just continue.
I think we all know that Fort Portal is a tourism city, the cleanest city, greenest city, and yet it produces over 180 tons of waste, which is not recycled, and most cases are dumped anywhere, and this ends up in River Mpanga or even in our spaces where we do the farming. So as Green Shiro, we worked with stakeholders within the community to make sure that we turn that waste into other things that can either provide employment for young people, but also maintain the clean space that we are already having. So we also literally have dysfunctional waste collection services in our communities. You find a family or a business, a hotel expecting the local government to come and take their waste, but they do not know that you have to sort the waste at site. Have different bins, different bins for different types of waste. You find in one bin there are glasses. We
just literally, most of the times, just clamp everything together.
In the same bin. Yeah. So, of course, people say, why would I buy more than 4 bins at the same time? So, instead of sorting at site, you expect the one who is collecting the waste to sort it for you. And it's a huge chunk of work. So, we started with training people on how to sort it. put the plastic here, put the glass here, and put the degradable materials in another container.
Yeah.
And of course, you can change it into other materials. Probably with our team, we are able to change the buveras, the sacks into decor materials, and we use it to beautify spaces.
But before we get there, this is, you are based in Fort Portal.
Yes, we are.
But what you are talking about applies, it's applicable to all the districts in Uganda, literally.
Definitely.
It's applicable to the rural area, to the urban area, because we don't have that mindset, we don't have that habit, that culture of sorting rubbish. It's just beginning a little bit,
Yeah.
but also, like personally speaking, because we do dump our organic waste right into the earth where I am. Yes, so you are very particular about getting the polythene bags, the buveras,
Yes,
and
of
putting
course.
them separately. Yes. So I'm just thinking about the person within the urban setting. Are they really doing that? Because I don't think the majority actually get to separate.
I think in the urban setting, the fact that they already have resources, probably most of the waste collecting companies give you different buveras where you can dump your waste. So of course, because they are bought, someone could choose to buy just one for everything, and like it's all waste.
Yeah.
So people have this mindset that waste is waste, but they've never thought of the fact that waste can be turned into other different things that either can beautify your spaces or even turn your farming soils into this fluorescent crop producing area.
Yes, yes.
So of course, I would say people should learn how to sort outside before they expect other.
Please just stress it, because we need a mindset change. We just need to overhaul this way of thinking. Because even as you talk about it, Bridget, right in my mind, I'm just thinking about all those opportunities that I have missed. Yes, I've just thought about all those little things that I've been doing. I just want you to stress it to the person out there about how important this is at site. And when you say at site, this is really at home. This is at
your
work.
shop,
And
yeah.
please take this moment and stress it.
I want to tell everyone who is listening to us or watching us that waste is not just waste or some useless thing. And you would really support all the service providers that are working with you when you sort it at site. It could be at your shop, it could be at your hotel, it could be at your own home. Have different containers where you put specific waste, plastic alone, glass alone, and the degrading materials alone as well.
And I hope there's a mindset there's a mindset change, and someone has really grasped something about it. Please let's mind about some of these things, because they really matter, not only just for the earth, okay, but
Definitely.
also it helps.
And
It
your
helps.
behavior, because if you're a litter bag, how will you train your kid telling them don't dump things everywhere when they know?
Yes.
When my mom is drinking soda, after drinking they will throw the bottle container outside the window of the car. And I thank God that of recent a leader told everyone to have a bin in their car.
A few culprits,
Yeah.
a few culprits were got over that. But it's a wonderful, it's something that I think everyone thinks is supposed to be, a normal habit. But then it's not, because every time when we're going up country, the roads are literally littered. They are literally littered. Yeah. So let's just backtrack. These other materials after the recycling process, are you into chemical recycling? What is your niche?
We are actually not doing anything chemical. We are more of organic waste recyclers. So what we do with the waste is, first of all, collect it from wherever it's coming from. We work with the waste collecting agents that support us in collecting that waste, sort it at their site. So they're able to give us the plastic waste alone and then the other biodegradable waste alone. So with that, we're able to resort it out at the site, and then we resell the plastic waste to bulk recycling companies, probably in Kampala, because most of the recycling plants are not in the rural communities, they are in Kampala. So we have to transport it to Kampala and resell it. And then these other things of Bovera, Sax, Budea, all those things, we give it to our group of women who turn it into
Oh yes, the crafts.
baskets, crafts, wall hangings, and they are also resold to individuals and hotels. And of course, when a tourist comes or a visitor comes to your space, they're like, oh, where did you get those wall hangings? I would love to have such a platter. I would love to have such a laundry basket, because most of the laundry baskets are plastic.
Yeah, plastic.
But when you go in a home where they have those laundry baskets which are made out of recycled materials, there's a way they are unique, but they also bring in that beautification in the place.
Is this something you always wanted to do? Was this a dream of yours from way back? Because this is very unusual, you know? This is a very, very different industry, like totally. Is this something you always knew you'd get into?
In most cases, no. I actually wanted to be an architect, which I am already, but I also wanted to open a construction company. But you know, construction and women is a bit tricky for most of us because of the microaggressions and job segregations within the working space. So I had to choose something that will still enable me to practice my architecture, to still not lose the engineering part or the engineering bit of me, but also enable me to at least support housing spaces with waste collection services.
What are those particular things you mentioned? You mentioned challenges getting into the construction sector, right?
Definitely, we all know that if a lady is doing a masculine affiliated career or job, there's a lot that comes with it. You will have the microaggression where people say, a girl doing
the attitudes.
Yeah, they're like, you deserve less pay. Why are you here? You should go in fashion or go in hairdressing or go and have babies.
Yes.
And you're like, oh God. Yeah.
But this also cuts across, because this is now the contradiction. Because what you were moving away from, yes, all the aggression, all the attitudes, all these being found within the construction, literally you've gone into now another male-dominated space. So it's a contradiction. You've gone into another male-dominated space. And this is what fascinated me, yes? It fascinated me about you. I was like, she is into waste management. You're the very first girl that, and not even woman, but young woman that I've seen in waste management. And this is predominantly male dominated. And the very first thing that we think of, especially with those ones that I've seen, yes, are the gumboots, the smelly gumboots, the dirty overalls. And here you are looking very chic and very ladylike and trying to run away from another male-dominated space. So what is happening? How did it start?
I'm so grateful that I have a great parent who made sure to enable me to be whatever I want in a sort of guiding way. Yes, be whatever you want, but you should know that women are supposed to be like this and women are supposed to handle themselves like this. From a tender age, I've always wanted to be different. And because I had a background of so many men around me, I had to choose something that makes me different. I knew for us women, because people think that we don't do the hard stuff, but in actual sense, we are the ones who do the hard stuff.
We do, preach it.
And yeah, we are the ones who do the hard stuff, because there's a way most of us are expected to be these softies who do simple things, and yet there are bigger things that we can contribute to all those male-dominated spaces.
Yes.
So anything that has to do with waste comes from all of us, from the cooking, from our bodies as well, and from our reproductive systems and all those things. So I had to blend everything that I'm so passionate about into one thing. That's how I decided to do this.
I'm going to keep on your case until you tell me, okay? Architecture. architect, Bridget, when was that defining moment where you said, you know what, let me just start this recycling business? When was that particular moment? Because you're the founder, yes? You're the founder of Green Shiro Limited. Did someone give you that idea, or it is something that you just woke up one morning and said, you know what, this is something I would love to do. This is something that is so me, I would want to do it. How did it start?
So it still started right from school. There was a time I really wanted to do engineering and construction. So I went to KIU for school. And of course, the rebellious me somehow didn't finish the course at KIU for civil engineering. And I was like, okay, now my life is gone, my whole plan is shattered. I started gathering money so that I can go to Dubai and make easy money, because of course everyone who works in Dubai tells you, they give a lot of money, you will be very rich in a short time. So I was like, okay. During KIU, I used to do school and work. So somehow, of course, the money wins, and you're like, okay, let me harvest this money. So I was collecting money to go out and work in Dubai, and I paid the wrong person who swindled my money. And I was in a huge depression. And of course, I had to call my dad. I'm like, okay, things have failed.
How did they take it?
That is another story, because it is...
Just skim on top. Just tell us, how did they take it? Because I'm sure your dad had been paying the tuition.
Yes,
right?
I think there was a time he came at school to check, is this girl really studying? And then found out I wasn't really studying, I was working. Of course, it was a devastating moment for him, very disappointing. His firstborn doing all this, but you know how parents are.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
You're lucky. But you later patched up.
Yeah, we patched up. I actually called Dad and I was like, okay, things have failed. I tried doing this, but I would like to start afresh. She was like, okay, do you still want to do engineering? I was like, why not? So I went back to school with the support of other people who were very nice to me. I went back to school, did architecture. I'm actually graduating this November.
Congrats.
I did my architecture course. And then during the Uganda Technical College time, while I was studying, I was looking at the building materials that people use. The stones are harvested, the sand is also harvested, and then we have so much plastic all over that is not reused. So I watched some YouTube video, and I saw a young man who had constructed a floating hotel.
Bottles.
Yes, with bottles.
Yes.
So I, again, of course, you know, when you're watching YouTube, there are other things that come below. Then I saw another lady who is in Kenya, who is turning the plastic waste into building materials. And I was like, that's what I want.
Oh, yes.
But how do I start? Where do I get all those resources? And thank God, I had an opportunity to work with the Young Water Solutions and Water and Sanitation Uganda, which are incubation programs that support young ideas in WASH.
How do they pick you up?
Because
there are so many people who are looking for these opportunities, and we have very many mixed feelings. You know, there are those ones who say, you know what, I really want to get mentored, but I can't get into mentorship because they are so exclusive. So was yours easy? Was yours relatively easy to enter?
I wouldn't say it was easy, because I wasn't sure I was going to be chosen, because at first Green Shiro felt like a non-profit kind of project concept, and those people were more interested in
the profits.
Businesses. Businesses for profit and ones that have started. But I applied anyway. I applied, went through the interview, and went through the whole incubation program where they there's a way they turned my idea into what I really wanted, and they took me back to my initial dream. So it's not that the opportunities are not there. The opportunities are always there. You just have to look for them and also put yourself out there. Tell people what you want to do, so that people can know that there's a young skill here that we could nurture into something big.
Oh my goodness, please stress that. Stress that, because very many people are just sitting back, yes, and waiting for the opportunity to find them. Please take a moment and stress and let them know that, you know what, just stress to them again.
I think it's very rare. It's very rare for us young people to go out to the old people and tell them, I want to do this, I want to do this. We are normally within our circles. So yes, my work started with my parents, but it opened other opportunities. I looked for organizations, people who are doing waste recycling, waste-related businesses, learning from them. So it's not that ideas are not there, opportunities are not there, just look for them. Put yourself out there, starting with your local government, facilities, starting with the people that you live with, and they will connect you to other opportunities that you can apply to and get those incubation programs.
And the thing about it, why women in business is very keen on mentorship is because you learn a lot. You learn a lot. Something that would have taken you, 5-6 years, you literally compress it and learn it in a couple of months.
In a week or 3 months. Yeah.
Everything from branding, from how to market yourself, from the product,
the kind of stationery you need, the documents. I think that they have really made business courses very easy for us, especially the people that have not really done business courses. You learn about a business in just 1 week, and the beauty of it, you even receive a certificate for it. So that's how it all started. And then going back to your question, and then we decided as a group, what could we do within West so that we don't so much deviate ourselves from the community work involving community people, and also deviate from the skills we already have in the group. So somehow, yes, we started Green Shiro from a project, but it became a business. Registered the business. Immediately we received support from Young Water Solutions. Registered the business, did our MVP product, first tested the solution. We first did the waste collection services for pay. It didn't work.
It didn't?
No, it actually didn't work at all, the waste collection for pay. And then we said, okay, let's collect with waste collecting agents and then buy their waste from them, sort it, and then resell it. Okay. And that was the great charm of everything. Oh, yes. It worked for us.
Why didn't the other one work?
It's a more of a logistical reason, because we actually invested a lot of money in waste collection because we needed trucks for moving around. Yes. We needed human resource. It needed a lot of resources which were not available for a startup. Yeah. So that's how we just said, okay, let's just niche down to waste recycling and reselling.
Could it also be because maybe there is quite a lot of reliance on the council, on the councils coming in, and we shall just dump this rubbish somewhere, and then the council
will come and take it.
Instead of paying you an extra 10,000 to do that.
Actually, it was 1,000. I can pick your waste, you give us 1,000. So we would do a whole street or a whole center. Yeah. So we know this truck, this Wednesday, we are doing waste collection in this area. But definitely people would mistake us for the council people. Yes. So they would just dump their waste, and there's no way you tell them remove your waste from our truck. So we did that for like a month, and then we saw it wasn't working, and we had to change into that. Yeah.
Those are some of the challenges that come with your business, right?
I know.
But you keep developing.
Yeah, you have to try. It's like more of a try and error, but try and error in a smart way, or else you lose everything that you put there. Yeah.
This is interesting, coming from a young lady, in the recycling business. This episode, we are talking about recycling, and we are Bridget, who is taking us through all these nitty-gritties and giving us amazing insight. But before this, let's take a short break, and we'll be right back after this message.